Okej, då börjar jag bara. Hello and welcome to Xenducation Hit number 2 with yours true, XEN TZU, where we talk everything Xen and specifically Xen protocol. I do this video for the XEN community and new people interested in first principles of crypto applied to a protocol which connects like-minded people from all over the world. But before we begin, I just want to share something from the bottom of my heart. Oi, 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 oi! Oi, 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 oi! The XEN community is on fire! Woo! Just in the last couple of weeks, our Telegram has grown to over 4,000 members, and that's if you include the Polish Telegram group, the Polski Polskis. They're growing so fast, at this pace they will even pass the main Telegram group. Urvaches Hoinki. Boom! When they entered the room, we thought it was a spam attack, so we had to close the group. It turns out it was real adoption, guys. It was the Polish power puffs. Quickly to understand that Xen is a thing. Luckily, we have super admins. Big shout out to Pulse Price Eon and the rest of the crew. This is just a glimpse of what's to come, guys. The floodgates are opening up. Are you ready? Well, I'm gonna make you ready. Today, XEN TZU delivered this menu. We're gonna talk about the mint formula, again, the heart of the protocol. We're gonna dissect the quarks into Levins. We're gonna emphasize the viral power of the machine. We're gonna talk about testnets. We're moving at the speed of light. You have an opportunity to try the goods before you get them for free, plus gas, plus time. Then we're gonna move on to the XEN community. It's probably the most important piece in this puzzle. Why are we on fire? What's going on here? What can we learn from Google? We're gonna dissect the masterminds behind it and see how we can adopt that to Xen. Adoption. Let's fall in love with the problem so we can find a solution. We have the what. Now it's all about the how. Resources. You can find the best answers to all your questions on everything Xen if you just follow this section of resources. And then we're gonna talk about why Xen matters. We have to understand what the limitations to freedom are with competing systems. We wouldn't be a Xenducation if we didn't have a little rant, right? So if you're not following first principle, guys, oi, 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 ay, 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 you might end up in my rant someday, just saying. And if you stay to the very end, I'm gonna tell you the secrets of Xenducation. Where am I getting all this from? Who's your source, XEN TZU? This is going to be an action-packed hit. This is not something you want to send to normies as an intro. We're going to go deep and far in our minds here. This is going to be a little bit more advanced, but everyone can follow. This is me giving you a catch-up of everything that goes on with Xen, ethos, a lot of Jack Levin decryptions and strategy. There's a million ways we can do things, and 11 of them are really good, but only one is the best. It's all about the how, fam. We're not going to talk about the basics. I referred to Xenducation Hit number 1 and the amazing Telegram group for that, and we're also not going to talk about strategies for the upcoming launch, but I will tell you who you should listen to. Disclaimer, nothing of what I say is financial, legal, or tax advice of any kind. I'm not trying to pump my bags here. I don't own any stand today. Still, I want to give you an equal opportunity to do this with me. We can all truly be Satoshi here. This is purely educational. I don't want your money. I don't want your email address. I will never DM you. You should be aware of scammers. There is risk involved in cryptocurrencies and you should be aware about it. There are no promises being made here. There should be no expectations. There's just a protocol being made here. And all I'm gonna do is tell you how you can interact with it. But before you do, I want you to understand what it is. And again, warning for big words, but yeah, you're gonna get it. And I might express personal views that not necessarily represent the Fair Crypto Foundation. I don't cross-check everything with everybody. I'm just going here, guys. So that's it. Let's move on. But let's just take a short recap and remind ourselves why we are here in the first place. XEN tries to solve problems with unfairness, centralization, adoption, custody, and lack of transparency. These are the problems that we have fallen in love with, and this guides us in everything we do. So then we made this protocol that will function as the foundation to solve these problems. And as you can see, it has these fantastic features and benefits which really make us truly unique. And going forward, it's all about how we merge the problems with this solution. By the way, someone mentioned to me that I say XEN and not XEN. However, where I'm from, we don't use Z. I can't pronounce it so well. So the only word we have with Z is zebra. So I'm going to propose to Jack, we change the name now, from now on, to Zebra Protocol. When I say XEN, I feel like a bumblebee merged with Darth Vader. XEN, super brate. But I will do my best to comply with the community. Anyway, enough fun. Let's move on. Testnets Activated. The shadowy supercoders have shocked everyone, including myself, by deploying XEN on 4 different testnets already. We move fast, we iterate fast, we fail fast, we break things, and we become strong. What is a testnet? Well, it's in the name. It's a testnet. It uses the same code as will be deployed on mainnet, but it's used in a siloed world with fake internet money. It has no correlation to mainnet. It's 2 completely separate worlds that do not interact with each other. So nothing you do in a testnet environment will transfer over to mainnet and vice versa. It's not something you have to do, but it is something we encourage you to do, however, because, and especially if you're a curious crypto noob, because it's a great way to learn how the wallets with your addresses interact with the protocol through the interface, without even risking anything, including gas fees. So the reason for deploying testnets is for the devs to get feedback on the implementation of the code and for users to try the system out. So it's a collaborative effort to make the whole system better, stronger, and safer. So right now you can go in and test to interact with the protocol on 4 different chains, and it's Ethereum, Pulse, Binance, and Polygon. So I'm going to show you. Let me show you how it looks like. Let's interact with the protocol, guys. What do you say? So the first thing we need to do is to add the test network to our MetaMask. So we go down to add network, and in the advanced settings we scroll down and make sure that the show test network is toggled on. Then we can go down to networks and select the Göerli network. So everything looks good there, and then we basically just go up in this top menu here and then activate the Göerli network. So now we're in this test environment, but as you can see, we don't have any Göerli to play with. So let's get some Göerli ETH. So what we do is simply clicking the address here, so it will be copied, and then we go into the Göerli Faucet to get the funny money. We paste it, and then we're proving that we're some kind of human. Sometimes we get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles here, but now we got these shitty plants. So yeah, just click here, and then you can press start minting, and here you will see how much you have mined the Göerli ETH, and you have some other metrics down here. It's good to know it will only cost about 0.002 Göerli ETH per transaction, so you really just need to leave this on for a minute or so, and it will be more than enough. And then you can just press stop mining 2 times, and sometimes it will take some time for them to appear in your wallet, but yeah, just do some push-ups while you wait, and then we can interact with the protocol. So here we have the web interface. This is where you interact with the protocol, and here you can see some familiar faces. We have the global rank, and that is, as you know, how many addresses have interacted with the protocol so far. We have active minters. This is how many people have claimed their C rank and are awaiting maturity dates in order to be eligible to mint. We have active stakes. This is how many addresses have staked their XEN and earned that sweet APY. We have time since Genesis, or Genesis as we like to call it. It's 13 days since the Ethereum testnet protocol went live. Over here we can see the total supply of ever minted XEN, and of that we have 30 million that is liquid, that is out on the markets today, so to speak, in people's wallets. And we also have total staked. So this is how much XEN has been staked in the protocol. So if we go down here to the bottom of the page and press contract, we come to Etherscan. And as you know, everything is transparent. So here we can actually see all the transactions that have interacted with the protocol. So far it's been 6,041 transactions that happen in total. And if we, so we can scroll down and see all of them, and we can go to them individually and check from, to, addresses, and so forth and so forth. And then we can go in here in the token, and we can see the max total supply. So it's 30,700,000 XEN so far. So then we can double check that with this number, and it's 13,600,000. But if we refresh the page, what happens? It's querying the global state. So now it's fetching the data from the protocol to this web interface. Bam, 13,700,000. All right. So yeah, also this to note here, right? What happens here? Like this is basically the most important one, because not the total supply. And why is it so? Because remember, when you stake, what happens is that XEN protocol burns your XEN, and then when you unstake, it remints it together with your APY. So if you add the total staked with the liquid supply, you get the total supply. Here we have the max term days to maturity, the T, what's possible right now. So why is it still 100? It's 100 because the global rank is still 4,184. So when this comes to reaches above 5,000, then the max term days will increase. The AMP started at 3,000, as you know, and it's been reducing by 1 every day since Genesis. So 13 days in, and the AMP is down to 2,988. It will probably switch over to 87 any second now. The EAA, guys, the EAA, what's happening here? Well, with the EAA, we have still 10%. And why is it so? Because the EAA is the early adopter amplification factor, and it's going to remain at 10% until the global rank reaches 100,000 addresses. So it's going to be 10%, and then it's going to reduce by 0.1% for all 100,000 interactive addresses. And then we have the APY, which is the current APY which you get for staking XEN right now. And why is it 20%? Well, that's the starting APY, and for every 90 days, it's going to reduce to with 1% down to 2% in perpetuity. So since it's only been 13 days, it's still 20%. But when this hits 90 days, it's going to switch over to 19% and so on. So how cool is this, guys? I mean, wow. You know, we took the formula that we went through in Xenducation number 1, and we made a protocol with it, and it seems to add up. So now I'm going to show you how to dance with this protocol. We're going to dance some tango right here. So we go up here and we connect. Notice I have 0 XEN right now, and we connect with the protocol. and we go into our MetaMask, and then it asks us, we can double check here. Yes, we're on the Göerli site, so it's the testnet, and it wants to connect with my account here, where we have the Göerli ETH that we did in the first step, that we get from the Göerli Faucet, right? So we say yes, that is okay. We want to connect, and here comes our Göerli up, and let's see what happens. Bam! Now I am connected here to the protocol. So we've started the dance. We're dancing together, and then we go here and press mint free XEN. And as you remember, when we now want to mint, the first step is to claim our C rank. So here you can see the global rank is currently at 4,184. So when we now claim our C rank, the rank that we're gonna get is the global rank plus 1. So when I do this claiming phase right now, I am going to have the number of the current global rank. And then when you come in the next step, then you're gonna push that global rank higher and higher. But as you also remember, in this first transaction, in our first tango dance, we also need to mention to the protocol the maturity date, the T here. And 100 is the max that is possible. But I'm actually going to choose just 1, because I want to come back tomorrow and also show you how to claim your mint. And I don't want to wait 100 days with that. So we're going to choose 1, and normally I would probably choose as much as possible here, you know, because you're incentivized to choose as high maturity days as possible, but it's completely up to you. But we choose 1 here, and then we start minting. Now we're connecting to the protocol, and we're claiming our C rank. So then we see here, we got to sign this transaction as well. So here you can also see that you don't need so much Göerli ETH, you know. This is the cost of 1 transaction. So it's pretty small. So this all looks good, and we confirm it. And now this transaction is being sent out to the universe, to the validators, to verify that this is a valid transaction. And bam, here we can see contract interaction. It's confirmed, it looks good. This is how much the whole transaction cost, and so on and so forth. So now we can also see here, let's see what we have. We got a C rank of 4,184. We got some data here, and this is interesting. This is estimated XEN. So this is what I could expect to get next time we claim our mint, 3,286 XEN. Let's also add XEN to the wallet so we can see them in our wallet. So we press this button, and then this comes up as a suggested token. So we add this token, and now we can see XEN here. So tomorrow when we come back and claim our mint, we're gonna see our sweet XEN there. Now I'm in the future, and I've been waiting for 24 hours anxiously to get my sweet XEN. And here we can see up here just that we don't have any XEN yet, right? Because all we did was claim C rank. But what has happened? Here there is a claim button that appeared. So let's press it and see what happens. Then we go to our MetaMask wallet, and it wants us to sign this transaction. So we confirm it after we double checked everything. And now it's in the process of claiming our XEN. This is a magical moment, guys. Shouldn't take long. Any second now. It's coming, guys. any second now. And there we go. You see? That went like a complete success. Look at this. We have gotten our freshly mined XEN and it's in our wallet. How about that? Great success. And here you can also see the amount of XEN that we have in this wallet. So what else can we do? Now when we have XEN, well, we can stake it, right? So let's go and stake it. And what we need to do when we stake, as you know, we need to choose how many days we want to stake it. So we can choose 1 day, we can choose 1,000 days, but we can't choose more than 1,000. So let's stake them for just a day. And here you can see the calculated yield and the maturity date as well. And here you can see some stake terms which you should read and know about, because if you end your stake early, you will get this back at any time. If I choose 1,000 days here, and I can end it any time during these 1,000 days, but if I end it before 1,000 days, then I will lose my APY. So you're committing to a contract here with the protocol, and I'm choosing 100 days to stake them. No, I'm choosing 1 day. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so now we stake them, and now we have basically completed the whole process with the protocol, guys. So boom, just like that, we've claimed your C rank, we claimed our mint, and we staked. So all we've been talking about so far in Xenducation Hit number 1 and all that information and all those formulas has come down, so it's just to connect to the protocol, and we got to sign it also. I forgot it, of course. And it's just to connect and press a button. So this is the onboarding process for potentially hundreds of millions of users, but of course we're going to iterate this infinitely, so it will be less buttons, so it's very easy. But these are the first iterations we can see, and we can see that it all works already. But yeah, this is it, guys, towards minimalism. And what I want to show you also is what we have here on the events page. Just let it query the global stake and the parameters, and yeah, here we can see stake details, current APY 20% because it's gone less than 90 days since Genesis. This is our staked amount, this is how many term days we have, and yes, we can also end stake early here, we talked about it. Here we also have events, so we can see what the protocol happened with, just a recent update of the protocol. But yeah, guys, amazing. Då kör vi på. So here I've just summarized some data from all of the testnets so far, and this is interesting to compare because we can see the activity in each sub-community, and the testnets haven't been live for very long, but we already can extract a lot of valuable information here. We can see days since Genesis, how many transactions have been interacting with the protocol, and we can see the global rank, how many have claimed their C rank. We can see how much XEN has been mined in total. So over 100 million XEN has been mined in total here, and also of that we have staked 54 million XEN. And this provides us very valuable information because we can see here of all the XEN that has been mined, 54 have also come back to the protocol and actually staked them, right? So that gives us a hit rate of 41%, and that's a good metric of follow-through engagement, if you like. So this is great to see how XEN will adopt and live on the different chains. You know, all data is out there. So some developer who wants a fun project can create a site and follow these stats and share that with the community. That would be amazing. It's all transparent, guys. You can just fetch the data and from Etherscan and everywhere else, and then deploy it and summarize it somewhere. Because it would be very cool to see both the testnet and the mainnet activity. You can even make a toggle function or whatever. Just have fun with it. So yeah, guys, testnets. That's it about testnets. They're live and they're well. Let's move on. All right, the mint formula again. Since we today will talk about adoption and community, let's start by focusing in deeper into the mint formula. This is really the heart of the machine. So what do we have? We have your reward is the log base 2 of the delta rank times the mint term times the amplification factor times the early adopter amplification. So if you watch Xenducation Hit number 1, you know exactly how this works and that it has viral tokenomics built in. By the way, a few people came to me and say they were a bit confused after the first time listening, but after watching a second time it made it much more clearer. It's a lot of information to take in, and I realized that, but you just have to apply the Wallace model of learning. You consume everything, you do something else, you do some push-ups, and then you come back, and the more times you listen it will be exponentially clearer. So it seems hard, but it's actually way easier, at least if you compare it to a lot of other things out there. So this part right now is going to be at a very deep level. So if you don't get a hard on for formulas, just skip this. We're gonna dissect the quarks into Levins here. But why I bring this up again is to emphasize the power of this machine, because there is something that I think a majority of you really hasn't understood yet, which is in relation to the power of adoption built in to this formula. So in the first step, you claim your C rank, right? And that's the one right here. And the protocol registers your C rank claim and remembers it. So it's connected to your claiming address. Yeah, not the wallet. The protocol reads addresses. Now, this is the mint formula. So this is the formula that calculates your mint at T. So when you come back at T and do the actual minting interaction, the protocol then applies this formula, and by then we have all of the values, right? So the EAA, that only depends on claimed C ranks in total. The AMP doesn't care about anything other than time. It's time dependent. The log base 2 dictates the mint velocity. The T is what you choose when you claimed your C rank. So we have all of that. Now, when you will do your mint. So let's forget about all of these for now, and let's just focus in on this one. I've summarized it here just so it's more cleaner. What really happens here? Let's talk about it, because this is the most exciting thing in my opinion. You know, the CRU, your C rank, which you claimed T time ago. Your C rank is that natural number that you got back then. That was simply the then current global rank plus 1. So your C rank is always the sum of all addresses that has interacted with the protocol before you claim C rank plus 1. So your C rank at that C rank claiming process equals the global rank at that time. So you claim your C rank, but then what happens? In between here, many others also claim their C rank, right? Before it's time for your mint. And thus the global rank increases for everybody. So what does that mean? And here's the punchline. Well, it means simply that when you come here for your mint, the amount of XEN you as an individual is allowed to mint is in direct proportion to the overall adoption. You see where I'm going with this? You're incentivized to spread the word of XEN because everyone you talk to that also claims their C rank will add up to the global rank. But you're not the only one talking about it. Everyone is. And everyone is talking about XEN is good for you because all of it matters for your, because all of that matters for your individual mint reward, which comes here. So let's do an apple and oranges comparison to this. When you as a Bitcoin OG mined Bitcoin 13 years ago and you told your friend about it, that had the result of your friend also starting to mine Bitcoin. But what happened then is that now you were two sharing the same amount of cake, competing for the same sweet cake. So this in turn led to a highly competitive situation. And I'm not going in the direction of arguing that that competition could be argued as actually a good thing, but this is why this is an apple and oranges comparison. My point here is simply that with XEN, when you tell your friend about mining XEN, he doesn't become a competitor. He becomes an ally, an amplifier. He is also claiming his C rank will benefit you in your mint. So that means more rewards for you and everyone else because of the global rank increase. So this is what I mean when I say that this is the most underestimated factor in the whole concept. You know, the psychological effect that this will have on you, knowing that everyone's efforts to push XEN is going to benefit you. It's going to benefit your friend for sure. He gets a good deal. He gets to learn about first principles of crypto. He doesn't have to sacrifice his own money to learn theory and practice. And he starts planting his seeds. He pays some gas and gets a free mint with the click of a button. So you will be directly incentivized to also push each and everyone else's effort to promote XEN. So it has viral tokenomics built straight into the adoption formula. Let that sink in a bit, because that's huge, guys. You know, we could also stop there, but there's more. So let's go deeper into the Levins of this. You might say, but wait a minute. You're not fooling me, XEN TZU. I see what's going on here. If you amplify my rewards with adoption, you're going to amplify everyone else's too, and the value will be diluted to everyone else, right? To a point, sure, but the supply is just following the log2 base function. So that's number one. You know, it's inflationary in the beginning and disinflationary with time and adoption. Now, number two, the dilution is not really what matters. It's not how many wallets you attach to this. It's how many people you invite. That amplifying reward for the whole community, where you're not paying the gas, someone else is paying gas to amplify your reward. So let's say you invite 100 friends and they in turn invite 100 friends as well. So now we have a network effect going on here, right? With the Metcalfe's law. So the network is now 100 times 100. It's 10,000. They all have XEN, they grow the network and it grows huge. So forget about dilution. What's important is population, which has the potential to be bigger than any other crypto. The initial price is 0, but when population grows, so many more people are attached. If you go to a small network, the network is of course not large and the value is not there, it's exclusive. And you might think that it doesn't have dilution, but usually a project first mints 1 trillion coins, and then they talk about inflation and dilution, but it doesn't matter because the founder have pre-mint all the coins, and then they're trying to sell it to you. They say we're deflationary because we're burning, but they have no community, you know. Shiba did it huge, and then they just try to figure out how to burn. So XEN starts at 0, and no matter what we call dilution, every person we add is creating network amplification. So the Metcalfe's law of XEN, you know, the square of the number of users in the network, that number does matter. The force comes with population participating in the protocol. So let's give you an example. Imagine you're holding any kind of token. Let's say ETH, for example. Any other token, not XEN. So XEN brings in 200 million new wallets to Ethereum. We're doubling the population of what's there today. What then happens to your coin, your ETH? Well, they go up in price. Gas is being burned. It adds liquidity. The whole crypto network gets more value than that wasn't there before. So we can accelerate adoption, not dilution, acceleration of the whole value of the crypto world. So if you start for a day, then you're an early adopter. The next day, 10 more people come. So it doesn't really matter when you come in that aspect, because what matters is that you stay one day and then you're an early adopter. If you stay longer, you're an even longer early adopter. And if your time horizon is years, it doesn't matter when you come in. So XEN is onboarding humans providing education. Education that's allowing people to resist. New people who get exposure to crypto will know how to react. Once you understand XEN and learn first principles, you will know that Celsius is not that. And as soon as you give up your keys and coins, someone else has your economic energy. You literally made an exit with your self-custody. You gave ownership to someone else. This doesn't happen with XEN. So XEN has a built-in social engagement. And what's really cool is that you can see the network effect in a number in the global rank. So you can quantify the adoption in a number. So yeah, what really matters is population, adoption, amplification. So yeah, guys, enough fun. Also to mention is that we did some last minute modification to the formula. It's nothing big, but it's good to know. We changed the AMP from reducing from 30 per month to simply 1 per day. So now you can tell your friends, hey, go claim that C rank today because tomorrow it's going to be 1 less down to 0. And that's going to take a little more than 8 years. Let's talk about the most important factor in the success of XEN, the XEN community. Guys, the code is done. The audit is nearly done. We're going live on mainnet any day now. What's even more important than the code is the XEN community, the hive mind of collective consciousness. We are the nervous system that will grow stronger and push for adoption of first principles of crypto together. But now Jack wants to say something first.
So I looked at the Bitcoin community and one of their slogans was, "We're all Satoshi." And I thought, if we're all Satoshi, how can we level the playing for everybody, right? And I thought the way to do it is for me to launch the idea and to participate with everyone on the same level from the beginning. And then we're all truly Satoshi.
So remember, we haven't pre-mined one little tiny XEN whatsoever, and that's all verifiable. You know, somewhere we could easily have coded in that Jack or Fair Crypto Foundation or someone else would get X% of transaction or staking or whatever, and most people would have been fine with that in relation to the value that has been given already, but we didn't. And the reason for that is because we want to do this as a community. You know, you all deserve to be in on this from the very start, from the genesis. We want to do something new, something pure, something nobody has done before. And if we would have given Jack or someone else X% of all the transactions, it would simply have been an unnecessary point of failure and hindered the adoption of Zen as fast as it can be now. But being a Santoshi, or as we call it, a Xenian, it also comes with a big responsibility. There are no overlords here that will dictate either the code or the community. So we have to be better than any other community out there if we want to succeed. We have to be more hospitable, have more patience, be more transparent, be more helpful, more educational, and more positive. And not only are we all financially incentivized to do so, but also if we want to take adoption seriously, we have to welcome all, no matter what background or not what knowledge or whatever. We have to set the highest bar we can possibly do as individuals, but also as a community. Anything lower than that will reduce our adoption. And I'm so goddamn proud of the XEN community so far. Even from the start, everyone has been super helpful, kind, sharing knowledge, only spreading good vibes. We come from all over the world and we don't know each other, but we share the same values of first principles. We share the belief that if we collectively can make systems based on these principles, we can adopt that foundation and spread it to other systems. It's the principles that unites us. Whatever your beliefs are in faith or spirituality or politics is up to you as an individual, but that is secondary. Here we share the values of first principle, and that is true today, but it's also what will continue to unite us. And if we learned something so far from the XEN community is that it really works. You know, we gathered over 4,000 like-minded people already after a few weeks who all seem to share these principles and beliefs. And we are so grateful for keeping this harmonious place for all of us and all you people to come in and learn. So guys, really, thank you for all your efforts so far in contributing to this. For the success of XEN, we need to continue to protect this together. Since we are an open source, permissionless community that welcomes everybody, once in a while, we will get visited by Toxic Tony. You know, the Mr. Know-It-All, the skeptic, the pessimist, the xenophobe. You know, he comes in, he has a bad day, as every day, and he uses our platform as an output for his distress. These are usually people who never built anything in their life, or they're simply just miserable from the inside. And this guy is not helpful and constructive for the community. He's not the one that will build great things in life. He has not understood that you have to give in order to get. He doesn't understand that you have to collaborate to build great things together. He's not asking us for anything. He's consuming information and using it for his emotional imbalance. But he will continue to come. They always do, especially in crypto, as you know. But the question is, how will you respond to it? What are you going to do about it? And to that I say, don't fall to his level. Be kind, correct in a peaceful way, and if that doesn't work, just ignore if you can. But also realize if any toxic Tony is being toxic, we don't hesitate to exclude anyone. And this is not us being overlords or anything. It's a decision we as a community have to make. Do we want to make a platform that fosters kindness, creativity, inclusivity, then don't be an asshole. Just be kind. You don't have to go full Oprah on me here. You just have to be kind, be likable. You know, we have also gladiators protecting us, both human gladiators and bodyators. So you guys are all fine, but I'm just preparing you for what's to come, and don't become emotional about it when they do. There's a difference between being critical and toxic, right? We welcome critical thinking. You can come and say, hey, have you considered the problem of sticking to first principles by going multi-chain, for instance? Because I foresee these issues, A, B, C. I would instead maybe do X, Y, Z. This is good, guys. This is both welcome and encouraged. We want people to have critical thinking. 100%. Toxicity is not, and it kills creativity and happiness for everybody, and it stops our adoption. But you know, it's always the same in any growing community. The world is full of these toxic Tonys. You know, everybody should be welcome, but toxic Tonys, no, bye. They're not senians, guys. They're not senians. So what does senian actually mean, guys? Senia actually means hospitality. And this is very funny, because this is nothing we plan or anything. We asked the community what we should call ourselves, and Senian became something that got the most traction. So we just went with that, and then we were just lucky, I guess. It's one of those happy coincidences, because Senia is an ancient Greek concept of hospitality, and it's always translated guest friendship, generosity, gift exchange, and reciprocity, something like that. Reciprocity. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't know what it is. I think it's good, but the whole point is Jesus. Zeus. What is this? So hard to say this word, but the point is here, guys. We're Senians. We even have the Greek gods with us on this quest. How about that? Enough fun. Moving on. Support we have got from the community so far is just completely overwhelming, guys. I can't thank everybody individually here now because it would take way too long. But I do want to give a few shout outs to a few that has shown real leadership, and one of them is really DVMB. You know, he comes out of nowhere. He translates the whole white paper into Vietnamese. Look at this. XEN TZU RANT or something like that. And I probably didn't pronounce that wrong, but thank you, DVMB. The whole country of Vietnam now has an opportunity to understand Zen and participate. He just opened up a whole new country, guys. That is adoption. He's not asking permission, he's just delivering. He shares his strategy. Look at this. Dedication strategy, wallet setup strategy, waterfall strategy. This is art. I want this in my room. Beautiful. Guys, this guy is smart. DVMB is smart because he realizes that if we help each other, the whole community will grow much faster. And it's not only this. He's there every day helping the community with questions and much more. He's helping his fellow people in the community. So big shout out. Thank you, DVMB. It's true leadership here. And guys, if you want to optimize your strategies here, your wallet strategies, DVMB is your man. He has at DVMB on Twitter. He posts a lot, so follow him there. And the same with Made of Stardust, another very great leader. She realized early on that Zen was great. She was instrumental in inviting and shaping the Polish community with X and look now, 1,500 members. Bam! That's adoption, guys. She gets it, you know. She's also very smart, very helpful, helping community, challenging with great questions all the time. And look at this. Even built a website, XenCrypto.io. Guys, you need to check this out. Let's go and check how it looks like. Let's do it together. Here, XenCrypto.io. And look at this. So cool website. A crypto you can't lose money on. How about that? In your face. Zen is a breeze of fresh air in the crypto space. It's value put on your time preference and on the number of like-minded people. You get it for free just for being you. Like, wow, these are poets. Look at this. Zen Crypto is a collaborative project of people building for the Zen community. Amazing, guys. Check this out. And then there's sections of different topics that are very relevant. They've done an amazing job. This is amazing, guys. Both that they just did it and went with it, and also the work they put in to make this happen. It's really high quality, everything. You can go in and check. Let's go and check who's Jack Levin, and then you have this site where you can read about him. Everybody wants to know the founder. This site is great to show someone completely new to Zen, who want to get an overview, who want to read something. They even have a frequently asked questions section. And here they have Made of Stardust, Valkyrie, and David. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Really proud of you. Created with love for the Zen community. How about that? Yeah, guys. That's the website. Go here, XenCrypto.io, and send it to all your friends. Do it now. Guys, this was great stuff. These guys work in their willingness to share with the community of both DVMB and Made of Stardust, just as example. This is leadership. They make fruits that we all can benefit from and that we all can share in this community. We're in full support of every community effort to help build this, and things fall into place naturally. If community likes something and finds value in it, they will use it and they will share it. So everything is very organic, and a lot of people really like this site, so then they just share it. It's as easy as that. There's many more leaders and great people in Telegram every day. Shout out to TB Bishop, Max, Taffy Boy, and Gunin, Misha, Tequila Salo, Hexican Mischief, GRC, Minerva, Pulse Price, Eoin, and everybody else. Really appreciate the help, guys. You're offering so much. If you are in the Zen community right now and you're contributing, it doesn't have to be big. You do exactly what you want and what you feel like, and you are a true Zen OG. The question is how you can integrate Zen in a harmonious way in your life, because Zen is an amazing place to learn and to spark your creativity. And if and when we succeed, you will be very proud of yourself knowing that you helped to build this. So thank you guys very much. Also this one, Venice Pistos, who so kindly shared his gratitude here for the rest of the community. Look, here are things Zen has taught me already, and I'm a crypto noob. How to add a network to MetaMask, how to import tokens to MetaMask safely, how to connect my wallet to dApps, how to purchase tokens from Uniswap, how to provide liquidity on Uniswap, impermanent loss, blah, 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 how to send receive tokens, how to create many wallets, T-shares, like, oh my God. I have leveled up. I feel like I'm understanding how this works. This stuff works now. Onboarding others is the next step. Guys, listen to this. This is what we mean. Help people so they can help others. This is what it's all about. Education. They learn and they want to pass it on. It's human nature. So this guy is obviously very smart and curious, and having to decrypt all of this in this initial chaotic phase. So kudos to you, my man, Venice Pistos. We will make it easier for everyone to learn what Venice did here. So my dearly beloved Xenians, thank you for being here together with us. We have something beautiful here, okay? So let's appreciate it, cherish it, take care of each other, the community, and in this way we can truly create something strong that we can adopt and spread everywhere. Matter of weeks, we have the math, we have iterated, we have testnets, we're ready to launch. We have a strong community, smart people, kind people. We've created a platform for learning, and we verified that it works. And now the question is, how do we translate all of this into something that can really scale? Okay. Well, we have to learn from the giants. You know, Send protocol is standing on the shoulder of giants before us, and Google is one of them. So let's see here in a little more depth what they have taught us. Google was just another search engine, just like many others. So why did they become the best? They did so because they aligned with people's incentives. You know, everybody wanted to search and find answers. So you could come up with content and monetize that with AdSense, for example. People could bid on ad placement. But what's important to understand is that this was all driven by people. People selected their own keyword. You would share content you want to promote, but it was all community driven. Google is basically a giant community sourced engine. Without its community, it's nothing. So Google tapped into everybody's collective brain and became the collective consciousness of the financial world. And then they monetized it, which in turn led to even better information and search. But before that, it wasn't a good market fit. So another thing to point out is, why was Google free to use for the user? It was free because they thought that there should be no one setting the price. So Jack Levin told me, if I think like Larry Page, you know, Google was free, it had no banner ads or anything, everything was free, and that created a lot of adoption. So if we do the same thing for crypto, maybe we can do the same thing with adoption for crypto. Yahoo, they had ads first and content later. Google, they had content first and ads later. So Google had onboarding that people could practice freely. And nothing in crypto is free today except scams. So you have to give value in order to get value. If you command people's attention, you can control the system and it becomes exponential, but onboarding needs to be frictionless. So if you mint and exchange value with your friends, that's true freedom. It's a vehicle for you to practice the tenets of first principles of crypto. Free education, digital ownership amplified. Google had a motto in the beginning, which was a slogan, which was "Don't be evil," which is very aligned with first principles of crypto. Evil means take advantage of someone else. Instead of giving people first and feeding after, not belonging to anybody. So what's different with Zen? Are we building a new Google? No. Self-custody is the difference. It's your money, it should remain in your custody, period. Instead of one party owning the whole network, we collectively own the network this time. Self-custody means no one can really do evil to you. So this is all within the topics of self-custody, adoption, network, community, fairness, decentralization, and transparency. And as you remember from Xenducation Hit number 1, these are the exact problems we are trying to solve. This is the point of it all. But we have to learn by standing on the giants that came before us and adopting these best practices of what has really worked, and then forking those mindsets with first principle. And as you know, self-custody is one of them. Google released the tech that connected people across time, you know. You did work back in time and people today could search it. So Google became a better system to connect the past humans with the future humans. So Google is basically the whole nervous system of the world that goes on around us. Similarly, XEN can become a framework that connects people to the blockchain. We are releasing a human block of connectivity. This is XEN, and by the way, it's simple, where most projects is very complicated. XEN is trying to get massive adoption and massive use case, but really what it is, it's the linking of human minds that gives us success. Vitalik and the guys really gave us the programmable framework, programmable money, the second generation of blockchain. But what they didn't give us was the adoption. That's still something that we have to solve. We are using the blockchain-free framework. The community ends up paying for gas and building the nervous system. This has the effect of making people to be counted as important units. Everyone has a wallet and certain rights that they have through these wallets. The rights belong to you and no one else because you hold the keys. You can store value in it and connect to other humans with it. You store your rights in the wallet. So you can understand a community being built here is just as important as the tech, if not way more. XEN has barely started and we're all in the top 1% of total comeback metrics, so you don't have to worry about that. If you know, you know. But we are already getting traction for a thriving community with thousands of people. That's my point. But we can do way better. We can build a community that grows and that is connected through common ideas. You know, first step was to release the tech, and we're about to launch that. And then what's left is to foster and build the community. And the community can then build the networks through adoption and also build projects and protocols on top of them, you know, by the community to help adoption based on these first principles. So let me plant a seed for you guys. What would be the value of having DeFi based on these first principles? What would they look like? That's something you can think about. If you stick around in the XEN community, then this is something that we can build together. So XEN can become the financial lubricant of the world. We can have the lowest barrier to entry for humans to come into blockchain. You get to learn inexpensively how to operate it. If you think about it, what is really money, you know? Money is an abstract token of exchange. It's not value in itself. It's an exchange contract that you can exchange with time. So we used to trade an apple for an orange, but then we realized if we adopt a time factor in the trade, I can get my apples and you time value that you can either get oranges or bananas with tomorrow. So a token is a digital contract for exchange of value. So real value, what is that? Well, value is goods and services. Crypto is probably the world's best infection worldwide. It has no borders and it connects humans together because of built-in incentives and game theory. With XEN, you get some value, you do things with it with people, and you exchange it for other tokens of value peer-to-peer. And that has the effect of bringing the world value worldwide. And now we have a collective consciousness mapped. Now we have a system where everybody's consciousness is mapped to the human knowledge. And by the way, this should be very welcome by all blockchain related projects because we can broaden the market for everybody. So free education, digital ownership amplified. But that's anyway a little bit what we learned from Google and how XEN can fork that mindset by adopting what worked really well, but then adding the first principles and self-custody into the framework this time. So do you by now also realize why we never talk about price in the Zen community. If we try to solve real problems and build and do so by prioritizing values, value comes later. So if we align incentives based on shared values of sound first principles, then we can build something much, much stronger and better together. And now I will play a clip straight from Jack Levin himself, where he talks about price and adoption. And I just had to include this clip since it's very relevant to what we've talked about, but also will talk about. This interview is from one of the many performed by Jim Wrapped Crypto, and it's edited by Craig Onison, two fantastic guys in the same community as well, providing a lot of value.
Thanks. So most of the crypto projects out there, when it comes to user adoption, it's all about when you should be buying it. Should you be buying the dips? Now, truthfully, when you're waiting for the dip, that actually means you're already too late. The project has launched. You did not get in on it early. You didn't know it existed. And so you're waiting now for a dip to get a better price. But you know what? It can dip, and it can dip more and more and more, especially in the bear market. It can dip all the way down to zero, or you lose your nerve and you sell it, right? So a lot of crypto is very price focused. Like we're all paying attention to the
But nobody
price.
knows why the price actually moves. But it is very price focused because it's all emotional.
It is all emotional. Ultimately, it's like throwing a dart against a dartboard across a hurricane. Like that is how it feels when you buy crypto out there, especially if it's a new coin.
If you're a new guy, yes.
I mean, like think about it. You get excited about the coin being pumped, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not too late yet. So you buy the top, and then it dumps. And so when I thought of Zen, I thought, how can we possibly avoid this problem? And the way to avoid this problem is rather being fixated on the price, we can actually focus on the user adoption instead. So as users get into the project, and as everybody lifts this crypto and this coin up into the world, you just end up with better value, right? You're not chasing the price. You're just participating in the community. You're learning about crypto. You're learning about self-custody and transparency, and you're learning to make right decisions. And the value really comes from the fact that more people are joining and lifting the crypto up. Now, a lot of people ask me about adoption and what it means for Zen and how will it be adopted, if ever. And so to that, I can answer with a question. So let's say that you're a business, any sort of business, and you want to adopt crypto as a currency for yourself. Now you have a choice. Would you be choosing crypto that has 25 million wallets or 25 million real users, or let's say 500,000? Clearly, you're going to be going after the largest market possible. So Zen has the possibility of actually gaining so much traction that it's going to be millions of users across the world without any sort of border limitation. And so the possibility of Zen being adopted as currency or exchange of value token would be very high, simply based on the fact that you can reach so many people out there that actually will be holding Zen. So the whole idea is to get Zen into the hands of people out there for free as fast as you can, and amplify the rewards for people that essentially bring more marketing to it or bring more adoption. So that's how we can all win. So if we can get most of the world adapt this cryptocurrency, or Zen specifically, which can happen, then the possibility that it becomes the better Doge or better Shiba, or maybe better than all of them combined. So, and that is, by the way, why Doge is used to go to AMC movies and buy Tesla merch and buy your Chipotle, right? Like Chipotle would not choose just any cryptocurrency out there. They're choosing the ones that have the most users. Like if you're a kid and you have $5, you could be minting Zen, and you could make a million, 2 million, 3 million Zen just by participating in the protocol. How can you get your technology into the hands of others? And when Google started, it was free search. And when I say free search, It didn't stuff the banner ads up your face, and it wasn't pop-up ads. It was actually working really well. It was very, very pure product that anybody could just use for free, right? And that's why ultimately Google won. Google won the war against all of the other search engines that were way ahead. I mean, you can have better Ethereum out there. I mean, when I say better Ethereum, I mean like a blockchain that actually is faster, has better language, and all of the above. But Ethereum is an open source project that gave rise to more value creators on blockchain. So stablecoins are on Ethereum right now. So I am a firm believer in open source. That's why my project is open source. I'm a firm believer in giving the product out to people so that you can have massive adoption to the thousands power, something like that.
So we are talking about accelerating adoption, and we are talking about the need to increase adoption of crypto. So let's begin with looking at how it looks like today. So here's some stats from blockchain use. Crypto users stand at 300 million, representing nearly 3.7% of the global population. This article is a year old, so it's not really up to date, and so on. If someone in the community is very good with data, please provide good adoption number and statistics. It's highly appreciated. So it has probably increased a bit. So let's just assume it's at 5% now then. But what does this mean? It means that we have 95% that is not in this tech right now. So we haven't done anything yet for world adoption. We're not even close. Not in relation to the potential of distributed ledger technology and peer-to-peer exchange and everything else that is possible. And as long as that is the case, we have to innovate and push hard for adoption. The whole crypto market cap is not even half the market cap of Apple. So we have a long way to go here. And here we can see the projected growth of crypto users. And as we can see in this projection, by 2024, we might have 1 billion users. So it's already growing. And but two questions come to my mind. Number one, how can we accelerate this adoption? Because as we can see here, by 2030, we're still just going to have 3.7 billion out of 8.5 billion. So that's 43% in 6 years. And this is a logarithmic chart, and it's still a lot, but to me, it's not an acceptable growth. It's way too slow. And although it might look great, it's slow because the implementation of CBDCs and meta-like metaverses have all the time in the world to conquer again. And number two, there is adoption and there is adoption. With this forecast, 3.7 billion will be adopted. However, how many of them are going to live up to the first principles of crypto? As it is now in crypto, not many. So what conclusions can we draw? The opportunity here is to accelerate adoption and push for first principles. But the main point I want to make here is that we're so small, we're tiny in a big ocean. We have to challenge ourselves here and in our strategies. We have to challenge our existing beliefs in how to do things. So with this in mind, let's talk about the thought behind Xen protocol so you can better understand why we made certain decisions and that upfront might have seemed illogical for some. Xen is pretty simple, and the reasons we have grown so fast and probably going to exponentially grow faster is not based on any hype or magic whatsoever. People are craving transparent, verifiable solutions based on logic, and Xen is highly reasonable and pure in that sense. But the question is, how does Xen fit in to the rest of the world? Let's start by talking about why we chose Ethereum as the main chain. And everybody's, of course, not unison on that. And this is not coming from someone who's any kind of ETH maxi whatsoever. But even I have to realize certain facts. And the reason we chose Ethereum is simply that it has the biggest network. It has the highest engagement right now. It has the biggest number of wallets. It's the biggest sandbox for people to play with. It has the biggest developer community, and we're aligned in values such as open source and decentralization. It has the highest difficulty to gas cost, and difficulty brings value in a way. It resists spam, and Ethereum is the most spam resistant in that aspect. Stable coins, it could be argued be more stable and has a lot more to lose due to the fact that they have to perform, otherwise they lose their status as the network for all the stable coins. You know, stable coins are valued over $100 billion only on ETH, and the numbers of holders are enormous. Stablecoin saves you from the risk, so when you engage in Zen, there's more economic energy in stablecoins that I can convert almost risk-free. With other networks, it's a little bit more risk just by being there. But with all of this said, we're no way denying that Ethereum does have many challenges, and they just did a merge and it went fairly well, but it still remains to be seen how they're going to solve the many challenges ahead. Can they keep censorship resistance? Can they solve the rug pulls and exploits that are happening all the time on DeFi? Can they become more decentralized? Can they solve liquid staking without high centralization, for example? And I'm personally happy that we have alternative chains that are based on other foundations, so we have alternatives should it be that Ethereum won't work in the end. But Zen wants the biggest network effect. That's what it comes down to. So this is the full transparency of why we chose Ethereum. So then let's look at it on the perspective of why we want to go multi-chain. You know, we've just been going through this a couple of weeks, and as you've seen this last week, we've almost deployed a new testnet every other day. So right now we have testnets live and ready to also launch very soon on Ethereum, on Polygon, on Binance and Pulse chain. And then you might have, you know, Zen represented on various chains such as Zen, BigZen, MXN, BigZen, and wrapped Zen ETH to Polygon, for instance, could be BigZen. You know, just to note, things in crypto are moving very fast. There are also other solutions we're looking into as well, like layer 0 solutions, multi-chain swaps, etc. We have really good developers here in Zen, and you are invited to also participate in the creation phase of this. And this is the whole reason why we are so transparent, part of it, because we need to use our hive mind here. You guys give great inputs, and this is food that we can iterate with, so we can find the very best solution for Zen in all aspects. But questions directly come up, and I want to address them right away. Like, what the heck? What do Binance have to do with first principles of crypto? Aren't they a little bit centralized? You know, Zen core values is decentralization, and other questions come up from an ETH perspective. If we deploy there and also go to other chains, won't that take time and focus away from Zen on Ethereum? And these are very good questions, guys. So let's try to answer them. And on a higher level, it involves the problem of adoption we are trying to solve. Because within that question, there is a strategic, safety, technical values, and community aspect. It's actually a very big question. So to answer that, we have to take a high-level perspective from the start. And what drives us is the fact that Zen needs to drive inclusivity rather than exclusivity. So let's take an example. Before, IBM was only making computers for businesses, and then came Apple and made computers for everybody. And Apple's market cap is now twice the size of the whole crypto market. So what did we learn? We learned that choosing not to go somewhere limits your market. And this is also a reason why Zen maybe shouldn't build its own blockchain, at least not right away, because Zen then would be an exclusive club, and we want Zen to be everywhere. Zen should be value that unites and becomes the strongest financial lubricant for the world, right? So we cannot limit Zen to only one chain, even though Zen's values of first principles are not always 100% aligned with existing chains. But Zen being on just that chain does not necessarily validate that chain's values. We can bring the message of fairness and first principles of crypto to be explored in their respective communities instead of siloing our message. It's just like when Google went to China, even though all searches wasn't allowed to be done there. And if we don't go to that chain, someone else will copy our code and our community and call it Zen, just like happened with Shiba. And that would be super confusing. The same thing was tried with Hex. And another reason is that blockchain and how they fit into real world adoption is a highly complex matter. There are brilliant minds on every chain, and they have figured out solutions to problems that other chains haven't even focused on because they've been busy solving other problems. So we see value in pretty much all chains, some more than others, of course. So for us to succeed with adoption of Zen, we need Zen to be everywhere. It cannot be an exclusive club. It has to be inclusive. And this is not super controversial to most of you listening, because talking about interoperability is something we have for years now, and it's practically become the main narrative even within crypto. But I want everybody to get on the same page in relation to what we are trying to solve. Further, like most cryptos have been trying to onboard fiat into their currency. You have to take this in mind. The standard for anyone launching a new crypto has been to have their price pump in dollars to technically onboard dollars and cents as fast as they can. But that resource flow is scarce. Money flow to crypto is very, very, very slow. Success has been measured in how much fiat you can get your crypto to pump the price. We want to pump crypto with humans instead. And this way, we will not be limited by fiat stopping our adoption. If we onboard humans the best way, we win the world and everybody wins. So you see, we have to think differently than anyone else if we are serious about adoption. We need to start from adoption mindset. And then of course, if we can have, then we can have the discussion of how that technically should be implemented and adopted. So, for instance, technically, for example, you can look at some multi-chain dynamics. Like how is a multi-chain world going to look like for Zen? And as many of you already have figured out, the value of Zen might not be the same on all chains, etc. For example, the gas fees are very different, right? And since Zen is a free plus gas plus time to mint, then the variation of gas cost will have huge impact on the cost of mining one Zen, depending on which chain you're on. So to simplify this, like very basic, this is like a base model for example, you could have, you have chain A and chain B, ETH and Pulse, for instance, and the cost of one transaction on ETH is 10, and the cost of a transaction on Pulse is 5. So then the Zen ratio for these chains would be 1 to 2. But then you also have to factor in, of course, utility, size of the network, liquidity, participants on BNB, for instance. They have 10% of the liquidity of Ethereum. So the market will decide these ratios, and that gives an opportunity to launch maybe, you can launch a game on Binance and use Zen as the token of value, and you could be only with this game on Binance, and then you can say, wait, well, they have Zen also on ETH, and I'm going to do the same on ETH because I understand the functionality of the token already. So, this is just the base, and I'm not going to go deeper into the multi-chain dynamics, but this is something that we encourage, that we have discussions about in Telegram and Discord. And then tribalism, guys. Tribalism. One aspect of the problem inside crypto is tribalism. You know, we have very intelligent people in each chain, but they easily get stuck in confirmation bias. You know, we all do. We're seeking out information to reinforce our existing beliefs. So confirmation bias and lack of respect in general leads to tribalism. And tribalism is a huge blockage for adoption. Competition can be great. Difference of opinion, great. Altered narratives, it's great to discuss. Tribalism, it's devastating. Tribalism leads to maximalism, and maximalism leads to exclusivity. Maximalism is not currency, but principles. Zen is first principles maxi, if anything, and we need to drive inclusivity rather than exclusivity. If we finally made it technically possible to have systems that are permissionless, for example, we can't stop adoption and further innovation by something else. It's completely unnecessary. What I really love about this Zen community, and I think you all can agree on this, is the complete lack of tribalism today. We have a community here and we come from many different chains, but we treat each other with complete respect. We listen, we learn from each other, and we teach each other. We've already become a collective hive mind that stands above tribalism, and we need to keep it that way. For us to win, we need to be the most open, most respectful community crypto has ever seen. We need the knowledge of every chain. We need to be inclusive. The goal is adoption, to get billions of people. Nobody has succeeded in this. You know, we're less than 5% towards our goal. Does every chain live up to the first principles of crypto? No. And we can have long discussion of which is better. My chain is better than your chain, but I think we're all getting very tired of it. So do you want to do something different here? Then we gotta think differently. Either we fight or we unite. You know, think about who the real enemy is here. It's not the guys from the other chains. They are at least 85% perfectly aligned with you, and that's 75% more than the guys in the legacy world. So there is way more that unites us than divides us. There's no competition. Zen is trying to broaden the market for all of us. So each and every one of you in the Zen community have to make an individual choice, decision, and ask yourself right now, do I want crypto to be adopted to the rest of the 95% of the population in a way where each individual is self-sovereign, practices self-custody without counterparty risk, with decentralized and transparent systems? Or do I want all of that, but at the same time convince everybody else that my system is better than your system? You have to make that choice. It's a tough one and it sucks many times, but you have to, because there's no other way. Do you want our hive mind to be the strongest? Do you want the sharpest brains from all chains? Do you want the experience and knowledge adopted to Zen? If so, then we have to welcome them with open arms. We have to say, hey Cosmos, hey Polkadot, hey Cardano, hey Avalanche, here's your testnet, go with it, see what you can do with Zen. We can set up a Telegram group for every Zen pair where those who want can go there as well and bring in the best practices into the main channel. Now, that would be cool. And I know for a fact that there's really cool tech going on other chains, and I don't want to miss out on that. Do you? If you really have a difference of opinion here and believe that the way to solve adoption is with a more exclusive club, then there's nothing stopping you from starting your own project. The code is there. We strongly believe in open source. You can take it. You'll have to find another Jack Levin equivalent with the same or better experience and knowledge in scalability in crypto and tech and open source, etc. And you'll have to find someone like that. And you'll also have to build a community as strong as the Zen community, and that is very difficult, I can tell you that. But it's not impossible. You can do it. And if you do, as long as you live up to the first principles of crypto, not only can you do it, you will also have our blessing to do so, whatever that is worth to you, if any. We believe that first principles of crypto is something that it's not limited to us, it belongs to humanity. We are more than happy if it can spread. So some people will call us very naive in this and in what we're trying to do. And that's okay, you know. It's very easy to call something. Anyone can do it. But what is your alternative is my question back. Should we all just put our laptops down and say, screw this, let's just hang out in Meta and let's have our eyeballs scanned and every move tracked and let them get to the billions first. Let them have the standard 10 years from now and not experience the same problems that we have today, but 100 times worse. You know, what is your solution to adoption? So unless you have a better proposition, I wouldn't call this naive. I call it doable. Is it going to be hard work? Yes. Are we ready for it? Yes, more than ever before. I don't need to be convinced. The people in the XEN community have already showed me. They've proved to me that we can stand above tribalism and work together despite our individual preference chain. You know, XEN is an exclusive community that will be open. However, it doesn't mean that we will onboard everything right away. It doesn't mean that we're not going to be strategic about it. What it means is that everyone who comes in should feel welcome and be in a Zen state where they can learn but also share their knowledge. So enough fun. Oh my God, we're talking so much, you know. If anybody's still listening to me after this long, go to the comment section and write bananas so I can see that you're really listening. Anyway, moving on. A quick guidance on the resources. Most importantly, it is to join the Telegram. This is where you meet the community and they will be able to answer anything you might have a question to. This is also there's also sub communities that are growing, like the Polish, and there's a Czech and Slovakian, etc. And they have their own Telegram channels if you prefer to be with native language speaking Xenians. XenCrypto.io, very good, very well written text made from superstars in the community. Great to show new people so they get the whole picture of Zen before we come in and confuse them. You also have Zenpedia.io. This is your wiki for all data, everything from white papers to FAQs and testnet information, etc. And also we have everything prepared for mass adoption in Discord. It's not as vibrant as Telegram, but as we grow and become tens of thousands of members, we do anticipate that we might be there more and more since they have a better tree structure of discussion topics. All right, guys. Now this wouldn't be a XEN TZU if there wasn't a little rant at the end, now would it? I think it's more important than ever to talk about what first principles are and what is not. And I want you to understand the dynamics of how some systems out there are designed and why they are fundamentally flawed and fundamentally deceiving. Companies incentivize you to give up your keys in exchange for yield. Like in Celsius' case, you know, the message was really, you don't need your own wallet. Unbank yourself and send it to us and we'll give you 8 to 80% yield for that. You have to remember, crypto is still unregulated. There's no discipline like in other institutions. Banks are more regulated. People sent money and they could do anything with them. But then they stopped people's ability to withdraw. It's like Hotel California. You can check in, but you can't check out. Coinbase over the summer, if you hold your crypto in Coinbase, They told you, should we be under litigation of any sort, we will freeze your funds and protect our investors. You know, some of them are not even hiding it, but are you aware of it? I personally don't want to be a product that is used to protect the investors of Coinbase. That is not aligned with first principles. To not have custody over my own value. You know, they've done fiat on-ramp very well. It's easy to receive, but if they go bankrupt, you would get frozen. And then they're calling it crypto, but it's just marketing and you are their product. You can't say you have a community and they will be protected. In Zen, we protect you in the way of teaching you how it works. We're fully transparent with the code. We want you to understand everything. That's why we are so openly sharing everything. We teach you how to do crypto in a safe way. We teach you how to be self-sovereign. But then at the end of the day, it is up to you to be your own bank. And we try to minimize the point of failures for you to be your own bank. That's why we emphasize self-custody all the time. And we invent a token which you can't lose money on, so that it didn't cost you anything to acquire it. So you can learn with it. Bitcoin was designed to solve that problem. Bitcoin was designed to solve fiat custody. It's important to know why it was created in the first place. When you participate in any engine, the first question must be, am I sending and giving you control of my funds by signing this transaction? Then you give up your keys. In many cases, centralized exchanges are exactly that. If you send funds to their addresses, you have given up control. Coinbase has a fiduciary duty to their shareholders. By you using their product, you become their product. Coinbase is the Facebook of crypto. If it's free, you are the product. They don't care about you. They want your money by design. You know, Voyager, Celsius, banks are not your friends. You have 3 Arrow C scandal, counterparty risk. You gave them economic energy to play with. They should have a disclaimer. If you give us your money, you can lose them. But their customers are not aware of that. And as we've seen, some of them have even gone to extensive length to try to convince you that your funds are safe, while their customers' money were being gambled with away in high risky bets that failed. They leveraged that people don't like banks for one way or another, and under that feeling they made you give up value in a more unsafe system. They shouldn't do that. Businesses should not be designed in deception to begin with. They've gotten a big slam in the face right now, some of them. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of people's life savings. But rest assured, they will pop up again and again and again, unless we create competitive alternative systems. Banks lost people's money back in 2008 as well. And those of you remember, but we have centralized entities in control, losing people's money in the same way today. Nothing has really changed fundamentally. You know, we must all be so grateful to Bitcoin and Satoshi. You have to understand what was so incredible with that invention. Satoshi solved the double spend problem. You know, I can send you something digital. I can send you an email. But then I can copy paste that email and send it to 1,000 others. But if I send you a Bitcoin, then we will both agree that the Bitcoin is yours now and I don't have it anymore. We don't have to trust each other because we can verify it. In that way, it doesn't matter if you are from Israel and I'm from Palestine, if you're from Ukraine and I'm from Russia, if you're from the US and I'm from China, and we really don't trust each other. We can both verify that the transaction took place. Now, I don't want us to ever be political in this community, but I just want to emphasize the value of having at least something to agree on. And Satoshi gave us that gift in solving the double spend problem. And then we got programmable money, so now we can play around in a sandbox and we can create these systems where we don't have to trust each other or institutions. We can find trust through consensus. So what would the effect be if we can really adopt this system and get great adoption for this system? The potential is that we can avoid many future conflicts. And in Xenducation Hit number 2, this time we went through a long journey which focused a lot on adoption and community and how those are connected with each other. And it's not only what we have and how it's unique, it's a much bigger question on how we collectively will implement this. We went through the Mint formula so you can realize that this powerful machine is designed for viral adoption and how that relates to building out a population network. We went through the testnets, we understand what a testnet is and why we do it, and we can also follow the activity in each chain, which helps us to iterate, and it's also very interesting to see the XEN community, how crucial it is and how amazing it is to see these leaders emerge that drive adoption for all of us. Google, we took a step back and realized why and how they become so big by aligning incentives and becoming a nervous system, and how Xen can fork that mindset but apply first principles of crypto and self-custody, and realizing that that might really be a cool concept, right? Free education, digital ownership amplified. And then we went into depth with adoption and realized how small we are. And even though crypto has done amazing stuff, we're not even close. And now we will have all of these cool ingredients in Xen we built together. And how can we then have the Xen ecosystem fit in everyone else's? And we realized that we have to be inclusive rather than exclusive in every aspect to achieve our goals. We went through the resources, we showed some resources so you can stay up to date with everything Xen. We had a little rant again with why Xen matters, and then we also continued to uncover how these other centralized systems really are designed to deceive, and how Xen can be a force for good that is building a platform for preventing future conflicts potentially. Yeah, listen, guys, I also want to mention this a little bit about Xenducation, you know, what this concept is and why I'm doing this. And I'm listening to Jack all the time. We talk a lot and he talks a lot. I have to decrypt everything he says because it's mind-blowing stuff. You know, Xen is a very simple protocol, but the more you think about it, the more you understand how well it fits into this crazy world that we have around us. The only problem with Jack is that it's so high dense quality in each word. I abuse my notebook every time. Every time Jack calls, my notebook goes in hiding. My notebook is terrified of Jack because of what I will do to it. I learn so much, and then I feel an urgency. I need to tell all of you guys about all of this. The whole Xen community needs to hear this stuff. But my point is, listen to him, guys. He's the source of basically everything I'm talking about, and he's my knowledge dealer. So I'm giving you my knowledge dealer here. And the reason I'm passionate about this and that I share is that I share the same values based on my personal experience. You know, he is sharing decades of experience with you without any filter. He knows how to scale system. He's done it. And it's all about system, guys, everything. It's all about how something fits together into everything else. And that's why interoperability is something that everyone is trying to achieve with no silos. But in Xen, we try to achieve great things and really try to solve big problems. So we have to think differently, and we have to do everything we can to be an inclusive community and create a strong hive mind rather than being an exclusive one. So I'm going to share this with you, even if it takes hours for you to digest it. And then you can take this information and dissect it into content that fits your respective domain and community. But again, you can also listen to him directly and interpret what he says and make that your own content, exactly as I do with Xenducation. And it's all about spreading these ideas. Anyone can copy us, but the idea is live. The idea has been born. It's the inception of these Lego blocks that we have put together now, and that's something that's gonna continue to thrive together. So thank you guys. That's it. You are excused. This is XEN TZU reporting live from, I mean, it's live for me right now, but it's not live for you when you hear it. It's gonna be live for you when you hear it, for you. But yeah, anyway, you get it. Bye.